Hey, second grade, it's ready. Are you ready for Spring Week 7's art lesson? We're going to be taking on probably our most challenging flower. But before we go too far, let's take a look at some things like some really great examples of the lantana flower that I got from last week. You guys did a really good job with it. I thought the lantana flower was going to be challenging, but some of y'all have really grabbed it. So maybe the milkweed won't be too bad. Before we begin, you are going to need pencil, paper, copy, or lined paper is fine, coloring supplies, and you do actually want to have your STEM journal. I should have written that one down because we're going to do our little notes in it again. Before we go too far, you guys are going to take a moment and talk about our expedition information. Your expedition information, your guiding question is that you heard sustainability, life then and now. And then your connection, we are learning how to draw flowers and butterflies for a butterfly garden so that we can create artwork of a butterfly garden environment and how that butterfly garden would help sustain or show how the butterfly garden would sustain the butterflies. Our learning targets that I can look for easy to draw shapes to begin my drawing, and I can add detail to my flowers to make them look real. We are still using the design process as usual. We are going to define what a milkweed looks like. We're going to make some ideas on how to draw them. We'll prototype with a sketch, and you're going to test it by trying to draw it. This is our most challenging flower. You can see, especially in this detail over here, that these flowers are kind of weird. They're a little strangely shaped, and there's a lot of them. Much like the lantana flower, this is a lot of little flowers that make up one big one. No, I'm not going to make you draw every single one of those, but we are going to practice how to draw these blooms. So in your STEM journal, we're going to make a small drawing where we're going to practice the milkweed flower. And then in your sketchbook, we're going to do a large drawing of the milkweed flower with a background. And this is my example here. You can see that I've done about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 10 of the little flowers. Please remember you can always email me at afranz@amanaacademy.org and check your Seesaw page for your assignment. So let's pull up the camera. Remember, you're going to get your STEM journal out. Find a place in your STEM journal where you can make a small note. Doesn't have to be a full page, although I coincidentally am using a full page. But we're going to be making a small area into our notes. And we're going to start by writing art, flower, and sketch. And this is the milkweed, M-I-L-K-W-E-E-D, flower. So when we are looking at the milkweed flower, so I've pulled up these little flowers up here on the side so you can kind of see what we're looking for. They have they have 5 branches reaching up. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an oval and an oval. And then we're going to draw 3 bumps in the background, kind of like we're drawing the letter W. 1, 2, 3, or an M. That might be better. Then we're going to draw 2 lines, kind of like a triangle almost, going down and down. It kind of looks like there's somebody walking with that flower. Now that's not the actual drawing. These are just looking at the shapes of our drawing. So we're just looking for shapes when we are drawing it. So we're going to try that again. An oval and an oval, and like the cursive letter M up above it, and then a square down, and or a triangle down, and a triangle down. That's just the basic shape that we're going to do. We're going to practice it one more time, and then I'm going to show you how to draw some of the details with it, because we're not totally done with it. So this part is going to stay dark, and so is that one. But this one we're going to draw, it's kind of like we're drawing a teardrop. And you guys have drawn teardrops with me before. That's how we did the beginning of the sunflower. And then this guy down here at the bottom, it's going to be the same way. We're kind of doing a teardrop down there and a teardrop down here. So, if it'll help, a U and a U and a triangle and a triangle. And then you draw the W behind it. And then another U, but a little bit smaller, and a U and a triangle. But this one's a curved triangle. That's going to be the little milkweed flowers. So when we are drawing them in our book, please practice them. You should have them at least 3 times. When we draw them in our book, we're going to start kind of like we did with the lantana flower. And I'm going to pull up my example so you can see that. Now, I do see that I drew 3 petals between them. We're going to start with I'll zoom out. Instead of a circle, we're going to start with a oval. We're going to draw the stem. They've got 2 small leaves at the bottom, and then big leaves at the bottom. And this is going to be like we did with the lantana, where we have to put some of the little circles in there. These leaves don't have any they don't have any jagged edges like the lantana did. So we're going to do circle, a circle, 2, 3, and a 4. Then I'm going to draw some more over here. And these are the ones that I'm going to turn into the milkweed flower. So remember, we're going to do circle, or I'm sorry, oval, oval, and that W. And then the little one in the middle. Now, if you're wondering how I'm doing that, I'm doing like I'm drawing the letter S, and then I'm drawing another letter S next to it. This time I'm doing it backwards, and that's a little bit harder to do it from that side. So, now I want you to try and get at least 10 of these guys on your flower top like this. And this time you can't see them in the background, so that's okay. So I'm just doing the top parts. And then you can add anything that you need in the background. So when we talk about colors, again, this is kind of fairly standard for ours. We need green for the leaves, and the lantana flowers come in about 3 different not lantana, the milkweed flowers come in about 3 different colors. If you can see that little example up here, you've got either orange, yellow, or pinkish colors. So pick an orange, yellow, or pink that you'd like to do. I'm going to stick with doing orange. So I'm going to color in and remember, you've got some details you can add to your leaves. Like, I can press down harder, make my green show up a little bit more, and draw that line that's in the middle. That helps the plant get its food. So, when we're doing these plants, I'm going to get rid of, there you go. So, when I'm doing the actual plant, I'm going to color them lightly because they're the front part. But behind it, I'm going to press down to make that darker just like we've done with all the other ones, because remember, the light ones are in the front and dark means that it's in shadow. So I'm going to keep coloring these. Alright, so that is the that is our example here. Remember, you can give yours a background, you can draw more. I mean, you could even put some more up on top if you'd like. And that is it for the milkweed. If you just get it drawn today and you don't get it colored, that's also okay. Just make sure that you post a picture of it so I can see it on Seesaw. Thanks, guys.